So let's start with how we met.
Are we doing it?
Okay, no, wait. First, I do want to do it. A cheers. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Also, happy National Coming Out Day, because it's October 11th.
Yep. Happy National Coming Out Day. We're not using this. Remember to come out. Where's the camera? Remember to come out.
So anyway.
Are we not allowed to look at the camera at any point? Is that funny?
Fuck it, I think you should. I actually love it if you did.
I know, I am going to.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. How did we become friends?
We became friends. You hired me. If
yes,
you remember.
I did.
We worked at a lab. Are we allowed to say where we worked?
No.
Okay. We worked
no, I'm just
in
kidding. In Texas.
Yeah, in the University of Houston. Hi.
Yeah.
Hey. And I remember you hired me, but you kept it strictly professional because we weren't allowed to be friends. But you wanted to so bad.
I did. I remember you came into the interview in a full tuxedo, and I was like, wow, he's so serious.
It was a suit. It was a suit. But yeah, no, it was the first college thing I did, and I was like, too much. And then I learned
but I
didn't have to do all that.
But I did the same thing. That was
you did
what was
wear a
funny.
blazer and stuff.
Wear a blazer. The first time I went into the lab. Okay, so the story is that we're both psychologists in training and researchers back then. So when I did the interview, I also went in a blazer and pantsuit. Yeah. But we're the only ones that did that. No.
You know what? We're the people that went the farthest. So.
Well, all of our friends are there too, so.
Yeah.
Us and our friends.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. Yeah.
Hi.
Cheers. Cheers to making it with them. Okay, yeah. So you were hired, and I wanted to be your friend, but I was like strictly. I do that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was for like a year, and then we became friends organically. And ever since then, we kind of split off, where you went through the PhD route, and you did everything you accomplished.
Yeah.
Everything you did, and then I just went more industry route. And then
you got your master's.
Got the Bachelor's of Science, and then got the MS.
That's true.
The MS, not the MA. Got the she forgets.
I got you a gift. Okay, hold on. I got you a gift.
Yeah.
And I was so proud of it. And I was like, I'm gonna make it personalized. And I was like, wow, he's worked so hard because that was a huge deal. Mm. And I put MA, and then you sent me back. It's MS, Master's of Science. I was like, well, shit. But you still have it, so I'm glad that you
I love it. It's cute. I think it's funny when there's a mistake. It makes it like... it makes it memorable.
Okay, yeah.
It makes it memorable. So,
that's
Master
true.
of Science
yes.
of Clinical Research Management. So, I think that's why our conversations are so, full, because we have a large scope of knowledge that we pick from.
Broad.
But so now we're friends still after many, many years.
Yeah.
And now we're here.
Yeah, I know. It has been a long time. So today I did want to talk about, so you and I have this in common, coming out in a Latino family.
Right.
Yay. And all of the joys and challenges that come with that. So we've talked a little bit about how it just happens. It's not a one-time thing. It's definitely something that even sometimes takes a few coming out iterations. Right. But before we get into all of that, how about you tell us a little bit about where you're from, where your family's from, and how you grew up?
So my family is from El Salvador. My mom is from San Miguel, and I believe my dad is from San Salvador.
Oh, nice.
Not sure on that, but they grew up
Is that where
there.
they met?
Yeah,
they
grew up.
Aww.
They met in school. That's a whole other story. They met in school. Actually, no, it's relevant. So they, man and woman, they grew up in school, and they had the opportunity to marry, and nobody made a fuss, which is very different for us. But that's something important that is in context with being gay. Because I was like, you got to get married and do all that. So what do you think it's like for people like me?
Yeah.
So I think what's common about Salvadorians, from what I've seen, from the ones I've met in my own family, it's like morally conservative. I think it varies. I think Salvadorans are just conservative by their culture in terms of how you present yourself, because it's always like growing up it was very much like how you present yourself affects the family. It's very much like everything you do is a reflection on your family, and that goes with even being like a little kid, like being embarrassing, saying the wrong things, acting a certain way, dressing a certain way. Like it all came under scrutiny growing up in a Salvadoran household, which I know is not unique. I know a lot of cultures can find a lot of commonality. For most with immigrant families, you know, from everywhere, growing up with being first generation in an immigrant family, it just varies in range of toughness and, you know, horror stories. So for me personally, it wasn't like horrible, but it was like a lot of challenges that we can get into. But definitely a lot of like emotional things, a lot of just family dynamics that aren't present in families that don't have queer kids. Yeah. It's just very unique dynamic. So it was tough. It was tough.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like I resonate with what you do reflects on the family. And I feel like that is probably a very relatable theme in our community. El que dirá is always something that we think about. Even going to, I remember, and my parents would always get compliments on this because we were the daughters that were very well behaved, but it's because my mom was very strict about it. So we all know the look. Once you got the look, you were like, intro, this kind of like, so we knew that look, and we would try not to step over that line. But yeah, it was always this idea of what you do. One reflects on the parenting style of your parents, so who they are, and maybe like how good they are as parents, like good mother, good father kind of thing. If the children are XYZ, well behaved. And then more than that is the family structure. So yeah, it's a lot of pressure, I think, on the kids, even from a young age.
Expand upon later. But it is about like parents, Hispanic parents, Latinx parents, they take it personally, as in like, what did I do to do this? Because they think it's something that comes from a direct thing that they did. And I'll use a personal example without saying any names, because it's like a wild card. That's why coming out is so scary, because even though this aunt is generally very nice, she's always been very sweet, super cool, so way cooler than my parents. So I never thought like they would even I really thought she'd have an ally mindset if any of her children were, and lo and behold, recently they came out. And she was like, no, like you just never know. You never know. Because that's the way a lot of Latino parents take it. Her reaction was very much immediately like, what did I do? Because I talked to her afterward, and it just was, it was bad. It was a bad coming out. And it's almost like a lot of parents just take it as an attack almost. Like the kid, like the child is doing something to them. Like to spite them, or this is a bad outcome of their parenting style. So that was one of the first things she said, and I was just like amazed, because like I said, I thought she was more understanding. And when she came out, the first thing she said was like, what did I do that you came out like this?
That's such a common reaction. And maybe it is a little bit of that. Maybe it is this link in our community that is what your children do are reflective of how, quote, good or bad you are as a parent. Maybe that's a little bit of why that question comes out so often, is what did I do? I
think it just relates to, like I said, in the Latino community, it's because it's so close, right? Families, everything, and that comes to that closeness. So it's almost like everything you do does, like, it makes sense, because it's like you are one. So you are a unit. So when you do something that's perceived, not even do something, this is about identity. When you are something that is not, that they struggle understanding, it's an understanding thing. They don't understand. When people don't understand things, they're afraid, and they become combative and defensive. And then they think, oh my God, what did I do? Or like, oh my God, what happened to you? Which is another common thing.
That's another common reaction.
Like, Like a lot of I don't know for sure, but from my personal experience, I've seen it's either what did I do or what happened to you at school, or did anything traumatic happen to you sexually or otherwise, which is a very, that has to like stop.
If you have this idea of there is something wrong, then you go into it trying to find out what happened so that this wrong outcome, like trying to find out the reason why. So I think that's where some of that narrative comes in. Trying to find out, well, there must be something because this outcome is not acceptable, right? But it's not linked. It's just, the population itself experiences a certain amount of trauma. And some people that experience trauma happen to be gay.
Yeah.
And
there's correlations, not causations.
Exactly. See, this is our science background coming in. Yeah. Let's go back a little bit to... what I'm really interested in is your, what we call gay awakenings. I really am. I don't know what your experience was when you were younger.
I think growing up, I'm trying to remember, like, it's just when you start to feel different. I think everyone feels that way, boy or girl or otherwise. You just feel, it's not even about attraction yet. You just feel something within you. You're like, when you go to school and pre-K and all in kindergarten, you start to think like, why do I feel so different from everybody else? Because that's when you start to develop associations with other kids and the way you play. Is that when you felt it? Yes, I felt it when I was in elementary school. It like I said, it's just who you are. Being gay is more than who you're attracted to. It really is just like, it is an attribute that makes you a different kind of person. Yeah. Not bad. Yeah. So going back to school, I think it starts there. Like, I think... now for me it was in 3rd grade or something. I remember recess was the boys played soccer and the girls played more in the playground, or they played like other light games. That.
We had the same thing, but I was with the boys.
Or just chilled, and I wasn't interested in soccer. Yeah. Not to say, because there's a lot of, there's a lot of gay athletes and a lot of that. There's 2 different things I'll expand upon later. Gay people everywhere. There's gay people in sports, in government, in every facet of life. But the common one is like when you start playing with the girls, it's kind of a meme where you're like, if you played with the girls in elementary school, like you were a little gay. Yeah. And that's how it starts. But it's not like, it's just more comfortable. I think gay people have a softer nature a lot of the time. Not every gay person, but it just is what it is. And I think that's when I knew I was so different, because I had no interest in playing soccer. Entering recess felt that kind of boring. I was more like interested in playing with the girls and all the other boys. Yeah. There were boys there too. Yeah. Boys not interested in soccer does not mean you're gay. Yeah. Or interested in sports does not mean you're gay. Because there are other boys that want to play tag. Yeah. Or hide and seek or something else. But I remember that's when bullying started to happen. Because I feel like other kids get a sense that you're also different. That's the thing.
That's so interesting that it happens.
It happens at the same time. It's like inward. It's like people can sense it, because kids are very in tune, I think, with emotions more than we realize. Yeah. So when I started thinking like, damn, I think I'm just different. I don't know what it is, but I feel different. And other kids pick up on your insecurities, and because kids also, they can be bad, and they're like, there's almost camaraderie, because they're like, well, he's a little weird, like, let's make fun of him, like, he's not like us. Yeah. They don't understand it either. That's why it's like...
They don't really know what it is.
They don't know, but I remember that's when I started getting picked on by girls and guys. Suddenly, I had friends, and then suddenly I didn't have friends. And they were just, like, really mean to me. And the tide was shifting. And it was just weird. Yeah. This is a weird time. So...
That's really tough to try to make sense of when you're so young, too. Because you can't quite...
You don't know what it is.
You can't quite point at anything. You feel different, and something's being picked up on by your peers, too. That's really hard.
Yeah, like intrinsically I'm different, and then everyone else just happens at once.
But I don't know what it is, and I don't know how to explain it.
And that's why there's the other meme about like gay kids are attracted to art teachers and history teachers. Not like sexually, but like they find comfort in those people.
Mine was an English teacher.
It's always an English teacher. Yeah. It's always an art teacher or something like that. Honestly. Mine was an art teacher.
Oh, mine was an English teacher.
Miss Bird. Hi, Miss Bird. I still think of you.
Yeah.
There's this big lady at Betty Best Elementary School. I hope she's all right.
I know. Shout out to those. Yeah. Shout out to the art teachers, literary teachers, and all of them that like really looked out for the students that felt. Okay, so what were some of your gay awake, did they happen in elementary apart from
like are we talking attraction?
Yeah, like any like characters in shows, because mine, for example, well, one, I will say I always played soccer with the boys, so that again, and I always wanted to buy little guns from the store, so I would buy, and then I remember that being, I mean, that's also a stereotype of the girls, because my sister would go for these little plastic heels, and because every Saturday when my parents would go to the gym, they'd take us to the dollar store, so we would buy a little toy, and my sister would buy these high heels and trot them around and be so cute. And I would buy guns, and I would be like, pew, 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 and I'd be like, and then my mom she saw that as something that stereotypically, if your little girl was playing with, quote, boys' toys, then, you know, there's something different, at least. So that was true, and then, but more than that, I had gay awakenings in terms of, like, characters in shows. So what were yours?
I have one. That was a real person, actually. 3rd grade... Mr. Sierra. Hi, Mr. Sierra.
Oh, but I don't know what he looks like. Okay, after him, tell me.
No, he was hot because I know what he looks like now as an adult. As an adult, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I you feel that as a kid. You don't know what it is. I mean, there's an attractive person. Them. Yeah. You just So yeah, my 3rd grade teacher, Mr. Sierra, he has a wife and kid. I hope you're doing okay.
Yeah, we hope everyone's doing okay.
Everyone's doing okay.
Yeah, I hope everyone's
but that was but I felt that attraction. I was like, that is a nice looking person.
Yes. Yeah.
But then also media was like Spider-Man. Was like, I like Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire.
Young. Okay, Tobey Maguire. He was the best Spider-Man. And just like, you notice like as you grow up, even in little books and stuff, things that aren't inherently sexual, like Spider-Man's not sexual. Like children's books are not sexual, but when you're looking at simple images and between man and woman, even then I knew that like, I like looking at the man. It's just looking. You know what I mean? It's so very innocent. Like, gay awakenings, I think, like to be demonized because I think the media and parents like to say, like, oh, well, you watched something, like, inherently sexual. That wasn't meant for you. And that's like, no, I was watching Spider-Man. Yeah. Or my 3rd grade teacher that was teaching me.
Or you literally just see an attractive person. There's something about them that you're just like, I'm attracted to them, not necessarily in a sexual way. Because I remember mine was Avril Lavigne. Mine was classic and Avril Lavigne. And
well, not her. You just liked her.
Mine was Avril Lavigne. I was obsessed with her music, but 2, I thought I guess thinking back then, I must have thought, you know, I had a little crush on her or something. But it was also these girls that I wanted to be around, where it was every now and then I met this girl that I was like, wow, she's so cool, and this she's so cool became I want to be around her all the time. And go ahead.
No, and you know what's funny about that, actually, if we're going back to school again, 4th grade, actually, there was, I think 4th grade is when, like, other kids were also becoming more, like, aware of their attraction, like, being attracted to other kids, you know, having crushes. I remember 4th grade, there's this whole thing about this boy, the Salvadorian boy, we'll call him Alex, and then this other girl named Margarita, and they were like the two, I don't know what, it was weird because everyone in class decided these two people are so hot and they should be together.
That was a thing back then.
That was a thing, and
they were people would matchmake.
Yeah, we'd force them together, and you know, that's actually part of the awakening too, because that's like, it happens randomly. It's not attraction. It's like the opposite, is when that was happening and everyone was like, oh my god, Alex is so hot and whatever, and I was just like, actually, he's like not that hot. And I was like, wait, what? Why do I think that? Yeah. Like, when you have an opinion about something, not necessarily attraction, but I was like, I'm starting to build a taste of what kind of men I like. And I was like, everyone's saying this little boy's attractive. I'm like, I don't think so.
That is so
Which is a gay thought. Yeah. A straight guy doesn't think,
let me evaluate. Hot. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting, as 4th grade is when I was like,
hold on, let me see.
I didn't get it. Yeah. I was like...
Poor Alex.
No, I was like...
Hope you're doing well as well.
He's fine. Everyone else adored him because he was good at soccer and he looked good and I didn't think he looked good. Yeah. But that's part of having a gay thought is like...
Yeah, exactly.
You're actually not attractive to me.
Gay thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so those were some of the few in the beginning. So post that, when did it become a little more serious?
I think in high school... I think I was straight presenting up until freshman year of high school, 14. And then I don't know what happened. Because I knew I was gay. I knew I was attracted to men solidly. I think when I was like 12. So I went through middle school just kind of ignoring it.
Yeah.
I wasn't interested in dated a girl anyway.
Yeah.
Because of social pressure.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I dated a girl, because that was what I was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like not in it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't last at all.
Yeah.
I wasn't interested. Something happened, and when I got to high school, I just felt like really emboldened, because when you enter high school, it's just like the most important 4 years of your life.
Yeah.
That'll determine what you do after. And I don't know I can't even remember. I almost want to say it was like a snap, because I just decided I'm just going to be gay, actually, in high school.
In high school? Wow.
I came out when I was 14. Well, I started living gay in high school. All my friends, I had a boyfriend. I was a freshman
in
and
high school?
Yeah,
That's
and
so
I decided
brave.
Yeah, and
You're
14.
so young.
14. I just didn't care anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
I mean, good on you, but that's really brave, because I feel like it's really scary.
Yeah.
So you're in the palm of your parents' hand, I guess is what I'm saying.
And you're kind of living a double life, because you can't take that stuff with you.
Yeah.
I guess that's what it is. It's like high school, you can do so much, you can get involved in so much, there's so much opportunity. So, and you're like socially exposed to so many different types of people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a freeing, it's a place where it can be good or bad. It's whatever you make out of it. And I remember being 14, and I just said, like, I don't care, because I don't know most of these people in the school. I saw a boy that was openly gay. He was a junior.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I like him. I think I just started talking to him, and then we were boyfriends openly. Wow. Held hands in the hallways. Yeah. Felt good. Felt right. That's the thing. It felt right. It felt correct. It felt natural.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And I was very lucky. A lot of kids aren't fortunate enough to go to schools where it's really diverse and safe. Mm-hmm. You can't be gay in high school. Like, you're going to get beat up. You're going to be assaulted. Bad things will happen to you. And luckily, I knew that, and I was just like, I don't care. Mm-hmm. But I faced, like, the worst I faced was, like, teasing from people. Yeah. But nothing, like, severe happened to me because of that, which made me emboldened more to just, I'm going to be okay.
So, after that, were you thinking about telling your parents, or was that not on your radar?
For the first couple years, for, like, 14... Because I feel like there's a time where, like, life doesn't get real yet until you're a junior. Yeah. I think everyone feels that way, because juniors when you start doing college prep. Yeah. So, I had the experience of, like, I just didn't want my parents to know, and I think when you come out that young, it's very common to think that, like, life is fine if I just don't tell my parents. I can have my separate lives, which is actually very taxing. Like, it's very taxing, and it's part of being oppressed is having to think that you have to keep things separate, which I still struggle with my own family with. Like, I don't want separate lives. I just want one life where everyone knows, and I don't care if everyone knows.
Genuine life, yeah.
Because your perception and problems with me are not my problems. Your problems with me are not my problems. Mm-hmm. And it's hard, so it got real, like, 17, where I was like, damn, because I'm almost an adult. So I think most queer kids have to ask themselves, this is for all queer kids, like trans, any sort of sexuality that isn't straight, you have to, I think this is common. Everyone gets to 18, and I think it's more common with boys. Boys ask themselves, like, God, I remember being 18, and I asked myself, God, it was kind of like a decision. It felt like a fork road, because I said, am I going to marry a woman to make my parents happy? Because that's what I was stressed out about. Being Latino, and my family being Salvadorian, they expected wife and baby very soon after college, wife and baby. And that stressed me out so much, because I was like, I knew in my heart, I was like, damn, I have to do it. It feels like you have to do it. Otherwise, you're a disappointment and a failure. Mm-hmm. So I remember thinking at 18, am I going to marry a woman? And there was a couple months where I was like, just do my gay thoughts in private. Have my gay thoughts in private.
But this is going to be my life,
And I'm just going to find a girl, and it's going to be okay. And it's getting into really, like, crazy type of thinking that's not healthy. Because then I was getting into conversations with myself about, like, I could have sex with a woman. I could do it. It's like a chore. I was like, I can have sex with a woman. It'll be fine. And have baby, it'll be fine. And then, thank God I just went the other way. Because I know there's a lot of people that chose the other way. A lot of people now living lives they maybe shouldn't be. Or not, lives that aren't authentic. Not shouldn't be.
Yeah.
They're not authentic because you kind of forcibly chose against your own desires and nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, for like society, for your parents or for your religion, you did that for those things, which I don't think is right, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think I went the other way.
Or at least it's harder. It's much harder.
But it's a disservice to yourself. Yeah. So like the way I thought about it is like, if you do that, all you're doing, it's not fair to your wife, by the way. It's not fair to your partner you're lying to. And it's not fair to yourself. You're making everyone else happy in society, but you're not making yourself happy. So it's kind of becomes a question like, what do you want for yourself? So it comes, you have to come to a point of like, you have to stop caring about other people's thoughts about you and well-being, and even your families, which is hard as a Latino, because it's you.
Yeah, and then we come back to, you are your family and your family are you, right? This interconnectedness where what you do reflects on your family.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's one of the things that I found so difficult. I could not imagine a world where I took that separation from what my parents thought about me, or that my parents thought that I loved them, or that I was, quote, a good daughter.
Yeah.
And quote, good. Taking that separation and not caring, I couldn't imagine that for the longest time.
It takes so much work to do it, versus like, this is a specific problem for just like with any families that are just rough. Immigrant families or religious families or just morally like kind of weird families. It's just like, it's a work and it sucks, but it's a unique struggle that we have to deal with, because you have to really put in the work. Like you said, it's tough because you have to break out of it, which we can talk about, but like how you have to break out of like, because your whole life you're being told like, you're bad if you do this, you're making us look bad if you do this. You have to do a lot of work to realize the truth, which I think is the truth, is like, that's not true. I'm not a bad person, I'm not a bad daughter for being gay, for being a lesbian, for being trans, for being non-binary. For my identity that's not true. You have to reject it, which is hard to do because you don't want to reject your family like that. Yeah. But you have to do it for yourself, which is so hard.
You at least have to reject this idea that you are a bad XYZ, right?
Because of that.
And you know, sometimes you can leave the door open for your family. Sometimes they take it, sometimes they do not, which I think again is another unique struggle, both being queer and Latino or Latine. But I think even taking that step of, I'm gonna let go of this, or at least I'm going to create this space. If my parents, if my family come closer, wonderful. But I'm taking the risk that they won't. And that's terrifying. Because we're so close-knit. And they are us and we are them. And it's really hard.
But you have to remember, like, you have to live with you the rest of your life. Yeah. And it's harsh to say, but my cousin told me this years ago. He was like, literally told me, back when I was thinking about being straight and living a straight life, my cousin told me that, okay, that's great, Felix, but what are you going to do when your parents die? Because you have a lot of life to live once they're gone. And what happens then? Are you going to start living authentically then? Yeah. And I was like, damn. Like, that's true. Not saying, like... And you just have to leave every family is going to be of varying degrees of difficulty. But if you're... Because some families are bad. Some families need to be cut off. But if for... You know, it's...
You make that decision.
Yeah. But I think it's harder for, like, when you see that your mom or your dad, like, they can... see, you know that they're smart and they're intelligent enough to like have a dialogue with you, and it's just a lot of work. That's how I feel about my parents. If they ever watch this, is like, I know they just don't like it, but I know they get it and they love me, so that almost makes it harder. When they're like lukewarm, when they're lukewarm, it's almost harder, because sometimes I wish my parents were just like outright super far right, like extremists. It'd be easier for me to reject them and not have to go no contact. Yeah. It's harder when you can see that there's a chance and that you can see them work with you, but it's work. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to do work. Yeah. But that's just how it is for us.
Yeah. We've had these conversations in different ways over the years, but I remember you telling me about her. But
I wanted her sexually.
Yeah.
Like I did.
That's gonna be its own clip.
Now that I noticed,
we're still rolling, right?
Yeah, so you didn't want to. But I noticed that like
Sophia,
I also
hope you're doing well.
Sophia, yeah, she let me down nice. I wrote her a note and bought her a necklace. I made my mom buy her a necklace and shit. Like it was. Oh my god,
why was that a thing? I got so many necklaces when I was in 5th grade. I was hot shit in 5th grade, and then that was where I.
You know when you're hot as a kid.
That's when I peaked. No,
I peaked. I peaked when I was 12 too, before the acne. We were so hot when we were 12. No, I wanted her bad. That's why I'm like sexuality is a spectrum, because like I wanted her bad. I wasn't trying to be straight. I was like I legitimately wanted her.
Yeah.
And I wrote her a note, and she was just like, "I'm sorry, I'm just not interested." And I was like, "I'm gonna kill myself." But I remember now that I look back on it, I did kind of have a crush on my friend, I guess, Jose. He was cute. You know what I mean? You experience all this shit at the same time.
You really do, and it's very confusing. And that's why, so there was this one instance where it was a movie day in the class. So we were watching a movie. I remember it was Mary Poppins. Who cares? And I don't know how the teacher got pillows for us. So my friend, she said, well, why don't we share a pillow? Because like, obviously there's not enough.
Okay.
Obviously, there's not enough pillows for everyone, which
so
there was.
Sapphic.
There was plenty of pillows, but I was like, obviously, yeah, like we should share a pillow. So, so we were watching Mary Poppins. I cannot tell you for the life of me what that film is about. I have to this day no clue what that movie is about. That's it. I was laying down on this pillow, and this girl's head was next to mine, and she kept talking to me, and would turn her face toward me, and we were so close, and my heart stopped. Oh. And that was it. I could not watch them. You kidding me? I don't even remember what I said to her. I was probably making sense.
You were gooning.
I was making no sense whatsoever. I was not gooning.
You were gooning. You were like, oh, what did you say?
I was not.
You were gooning, yeah. It's okay to be a goon.
But it's like those moments where I couldn't for the life of me explain what that was. Because I was sweating. I was sweating in my little uniform of like 5th grade.
Oh my god, the polos.
The polos. I was in like a red polo in khakis. I was wearing my polo elementary, and I just could not for the life. I was like, what is happening to me? Because you could have swore that the world tilted off of its axis the way that I was just incoherent at that moment. But so like that. And then I remember the next day I asked my sister, because we had bunk beds at the time. So I was like going out, and I was like, hey, are you like ever super excited to see your friends in like for school? Like really, really excited. Like they're the first thing you think about? And my sister goes, no. And I was like, oh, yeah, me neither. Yeah, no, me neither. I'm not that excited to see my friends either. But it was like those moments where I would just question, why do I feel so intensely?
This is too intense. Yeah.
Gay.
That's very cute. Gay. I'm Mary Poppins and Pillow Talk. Literally, your first Pillow Talk.
Literally, my first Pillow Talk was about Mary Poppins.
That's gay.
That's so gay.
That's
okay.
So
anyway,
gay.
Let's go back to your... What the fuck are you
My wrist is itchy.
You didn't want to use your hand?
No. What the fuck do you want me to do?
Why didn't you put your drink down?
Oh,
and use your hand?
You know what's funny? I don't give a fuck about what you think of me. Your perception of me is not my problem.
I actually wish that you did not put your entire tongue in that drink so that we could use it as a reel.
You can still.
You can take so many clips.
Like, that clip was great. Your perception of me is not my problem.
Tahine.
I know, but
for the intro.
You put your entire tongue in there.
You can use that. That's funny. And then you'll have comments like, where's the part where you put the tongue in the glass?
And then it'll become a meme. It'll be like a meme of just his tongue going in.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, fine. That's what I'm gonna do. Your perception of me is not my fucking problem.
Insert tongue.
And
Whenever
we're
ready.
back. So, why are you smiling?
Just smiling. I'm just ready.
Real creepy.
I'm having a great time.
Okay, so we're talking a little bit about your gay awakenings. When did it come to you actually telling your parents?
Okay. Where it was other teens weren't doing anything crazy.
Yeah.
People were just talking. You get on your webcam, you're just talking to people from all over the world, and you just made internet friends. I remember making like internet friends, and I was just like on it once on the family computer.
Not the family
And that's
computer.
how yeah,
Not
on the family computer in my in my parents' room.
That was classic.
And then my mom just busted in, and that's how she found, and she was like talking to boys and stuff. It was this whole big thing. And it wasn't anything like, I still think to this day, like, I was not, and it was not sexual. It was not crazy. It was just talking to other people online. And the way she took it was just very much like safety concern and the fact that they were boys. I understand part of it was safety, but most of it was because it was with boys.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, she just like freaked out and panicked, and she made the decision to let's not tell my dad about this because she was so worried. So for years, for like 3 or 4 years, we like did not tell my dad any of it because she didn't want to. So it was like kind of this secret war between me and my mom, keeping this thing about me from my dad. And I remember I was grounded for a long time. Like I was just punished, for being on a gay teen chat room. Like she took my phone away. Like I was like, it was just very strict and unfair. And I was mad at her for many years. But now, just to fast forward, it can get better. I've explained to my mom since then, like, how fucked up that was, unfair and whatever. But I also understand her, because I'm also an intelligent human being. A lot of queer people are very smart. That's just a part of our attribute. We are very smart. Because I understand where she's coming from. When you're a Latino parent and you have lived most of your life in a different country and you come here, that seems to be like they think they're scared of it because they don't understand it. So my mom's reaction was to take me to a psychologist and blah, blah, blah. So I understand. I get her. She's apologized to me many times since because I was like, I get her in thinking like she didn't know what to do. They have no experience.
I know.
When they have a queer kid, it's the first time. Unless you have many siblings, but for most people it's the first time. And I'm an only child. So she was like freaked out because she knows nothing about it at all. So that was rough. And then when I came out to my dad at my 18th birthday, which is trauma, because I was very convinced, goes back to my aunt, even if you think they're really nice and understanding, because my father's very smart. My mom is too. They're smart people. That's why I thought it was going to be okay. Because I know my parents deeply. I laugh with them. I know so much about their lives and where they came from. That's why it hurts more when you're Latino, because you know what your parents went through.
I know.
You know what their life was like. Like my mom grew up in the mountains on a concrete slab. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and then knowing them, I really thought, because my mom was like, don't tell them. It's not going to go the way you think it is. And I was like, yeah, it is. Because dad's cool. Because my dad is cool.
Yeah.
And it did not. And she was right. And I just felt it. Because you just want to say it. I just felt that I was so over me and my mom having this secret war.
Yeah, because it's your truth.
Yeah, I just wanted to live my truth. And that's what I told my mom over the years. I was just like, I don't care what anybody thinks. Yeah. I just want it to not be a secret, because having it be a secret is stressful. To the point where I had to wear a heart monitor. Part of the story, I was so stressed out when I was 18 about coming out and being gay that I got an arrhythmia.
Wow.
And to not go into the details, but I was medically stressed out to the point where I had to wear a heart monitor. And I remember
that's insane. If you think about that, like that's
coming out feels like you're gonna die sometimes.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's just so scary because you don't know what's gonna happen. And I was 18, my birthday. I was so over it, wearing a heart monitor, and I just decided to tell, against my mom's wishes, I told my dad. And I was just like, he was just didn't understand, didn't get it. He was like upset. And I just remember just being really destroyed by it. Because it was the opposite. Because I had a lot of faith in my dad that he was going to be cooler than my mom was. But it wasn't that way.
Yeah.
And it was just really hard. And I think the conclusion after that was just like, we're not going to talk about it.
I think that's a very common familial reaction as well.
But that's why it's so unfair that we have to do. That's why, like, I just would like straight people to understand, straight parents, and all parents. It's so hard for your child to do this. It is so scary. We practice it in our heads a million times. It's like, it's the scariest thing for us to have this conversation with you. So for years after that, I had to come out again. Because after I was 18, it went so bad, I was just like, we're not going to talk about it. As a family, I was just like, we just never talk about it, never acknowledge it. And then I think when I was 24, an adult, when I was 25, I think, in a relationship, in a long-term relationship, I felt the need to be open again because they basically shoved me back in the closet. That's what happened. They shoved me back in the closet and they said, like, well, let's just never talk about it.
Yeah.
And when I was 25 in a relationship, I was like, well, I'm 25 now. Can we talk about it now?
Yeah.
And I felt that in my chest again. And I had a private talk with my dad again. Because my mom at this point, she's more accepting of it. And she's like, she gets it. But she still worries about family's perception and about what my dad thinks.
Yeah.
Like, that's a whole other can of worms. But with my dad, we hadn't talked about it 7 years. So when I was 25, I went to his room and I said, I am gay. I am gay and I'm going to be gay forever, actually. It was very short and I remember he cried because I know he was hoping for 7 years, he was hoping like it was just going to go away. And it didn't. And it was really hard. And I remember I texted you that night and I was just like, and it made me cry, but I was like, it's fine. As you get older.
I remember that. I was in the garage in Houston. I was still living in Houston. And you were texting me that I'm going to tell my dad. Mm-hmm. And we were on the phone. I called you. And you were right about to tell him. Mm-hmm. And we talked for about an hour. And just letting you know a little bit of my experience. And letting you know that I think no matter what, you really face a decision. If you're at a crossroads, either you fake the rest of your life, mm-hmm. or you live genuinely the way that you deserve to live. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, sometimes that means taking the risk that your parents and your family may or may not be there. Mm-hmm. And at the point that you decide to take that turn, mm-hmm. it's the scariest thing you could ever do.
But once it's over, life gets a lot better. Because I think, like, Latinx parents, Latino parents, they make it feel like their reaction just makes you feel like you're hurting them. That's what it feels like. But you have to understand, and I understood, I'm not doing anything to you. I'm just existing.
Yeah, I'm just being me.
Yeah, yes. Like, I'm almost not sorry. Like, I'm sorry, like, the universe just made our family this way. But it is what it is. And it's not that bad. Because, like I said, being who I am does not... Because I was a very good kid. I did what I was supposed to do. That's what's so infuriating.
Me too.
Even when you do what you're supposed to do, we went to school, we didn't get arrested, we got jobs,
grades,
we're
did the things,
productive members of society, yet this is the one thing they're like, I just hate it.
Yeah.
They hate it. And I'm like, what about everything else? You know? I don't want to drag the rest of my family, but like, what about everything else?
I get you.
But, and then ever since then, he cried about it, and he was just like, yeah, and then ever since then, we haven't really talked about it extensively. He still struggles with it. But now I'm like, it's not that I don't care. Now, being 28, now I'm just like, I've told my mom too, many times. I was like, if dad, like, that's what you have to accept. Like you just said, you have to accept that maybe they won't be there. And that's what I told my mom. I was like, I'm probably going to get married to a man and have a family maybe and stuff. So my mom's thing is always like, it's not a good time to tell him. Like, why do you have to tell him? I was like, when am I going to tell him? When I'm 50? It's never going to be the right time for you, so does it matter?
Yeah.
It doesn't. So, and I'm not okay with it. It's sad. Like, I want my parents to, like, want to know my partner and want to. But I'm also made peace with maybe they don't want that. And I'm okay with that as long as I'm happy. You know what I mean? It's not favorable, but, like, you have to be okay with it. You have to know that living your life authentically will be better for you in the long run. And it is sad, but it doesn't have to define your whole life. Like, if my dad doesn't want to come to my big fat gay wedding, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I think I decided, like, this year, I was like, I'm over it. Because at this point, if extended family, because Latino families are huge, if extended family can't figure out at 28 that I've never brought home a girl, they're starting to figure it out.
You know they ask every holiday.
They stopped asking, actually, like, 2 years ago. And I was like, yes. Because I hate that question.
Yeah, that always happens.
¿Y la novia?
¿Y la novia?
¿Y la novia qué?
Yeah.
¿Y la novia? ¿Y cuándo? ¿Y los niños qué? And I was like, the niños what?
Yeah.
The niños what? I can't have any. I wish I could. I would carry the baby.
Yeah?
I so wish we could.
I mean, you say that until you see what it's
I'll
about.
do it. I'll do it. Because I'm a mother.
Let's see.
You know how nurturing I am.
You are very nurturing. That's the same thing. No, but you are very nurturing.
No, I would be
You're
so
an
good. I would
amazing
do
parent.
it. If I could feel your pain, I would do it.
I would gladly give you that pain. I don't want to do it. I actually don't want to do it, so that would be great. That would be great if we could switch.
But yeah, that
If
was
we could
coming
switch,
out.
That'd be great.
Hopefully we live in a world eventually where, like, coming out is a thing of the past. I'm so over it.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so.